Welcome back to Let's Play Sunless Skies Sovereign Edition. Looks like we are... So we've discovered most of the ports in the Reach, and as much as I'd like to just leave, we actually do have business with the company house. We're trying to get them back into New Winchester, and for us to do that, we need to keep affecting the balance of power in the Reach. As of right now, the Tacadies have 146 fortunes, and the Stovepipes have 129. Our reputations are dropping and rising, respectively, in the correct places. Unfortunately, the strength of the sun is diminishing ever so slowly. I had planned to increase it right at the beginning of the Let's Play, but a lot of the work orders require possessions. So, we're gonna put that on the back burner. It'll probably get back down to 0 by the time we actually get to it and have enough resources. I'm thinking maybe 3 more loops, 4 more loops in the Reach, and we should be good. So, let's not worry about our hold this time. In fact, I think I'm just gonna jettison these seeds. Nectar 5 for Carillon. Possessions. Alright, let's check if there's a port report here. Nope. No more settlers either. Even though the experience will be good, actually. It doesn't... Sky stories. Nah. We really need to start hoarding these possessions. So, yeah. Oh, also, if you're watching this on YouTube, I would strongly urge you guys to watch at double speed, which you can do by pressing Shift and right angle bracket 4 times. Or you could do it manually in the settings on the bottom right. But, I mean, I feel like it's more digestible. It's as coherent, and it's just, you just watch videos quicker. Like a 30-minute video gets knocked down to 15. Hour-long video gets knocked down to half hour. You know, I would strongly urge you guys to try out the hotkeys and watch at double speed. Okay, we can go. Passenger. Port report. Huh, sadly we can't give the Port Prosper port report to the Windward Company because they're located at Port Prosper. So that'll change once we get them to New Winchester. In fact, I might just do a quick cut away to after I've completed the many loops necessary. We're gonna be killing these for the experience. It's stuck. Destroy the remains. They are an unsightly blemish upon the sky. Obliteration. Your guns thunder again and again until the conglomeration is pulverized. Your crew cheer like spectators at fireworks. Sky story, okay. We know how we'll be dealing with those from now on. Ooh. Hunting party. Reduce terror. We're at the inquest. Ask the phlegmatic researcher about his completed research. He left a note at the dock asking you to drop by. The phlegmatic researcher welcomes you to his table with a booming, "Sit down, sit down." He calls for one of his scouts to pour you a brandy. "Thanks to the hard labor of my fine colleagues, we've done it." Witness the culmination of their efforts. It's just outside the window. The phlegmatic researcher points with his walking stick and raises his eyebrows theatrically. An orchard is growing outside. The trees all bear, well, one cannot say fruit, for they bear potatoes or carrots, while others have ears of corn hanging like pine cones. The phlegmatic researcher raises his glass. I call them sapling nuts. With careful discipline, it's possible to harness the Reach's chaos and abundance. After that, one may dictate growth. Wood may be negotiated with. And we got more seeds. Great. Another list. Cantankerous stomach. Titanium petal. Fungal crinoline. Crinoline. Okay. Hey, what up, Albert? Yes, give us the sky stories. Give it to us. Goodbye. Wait a second, did we write a poor report? Dude, what the heck? Where is it? Why didn't we get it? Okay, here we go. And we got bees. Where are you at, boys? Bees first. Get away from me. requests a cutting of a petal. The phlegmatic researcher in the Leadbeater and Stainrod Nature Reserve has expressed interest in Titania. A simple request. The rhapsodic mayor is only too happy to oblige you. I'll have a sample sent to your engine in a moment. We may not be scientifically minded here, but we do love to learn more about our wonderful flower. Oh, that's a spirit. Curiosity. Wait. God, we really are a thundering puissance, aren't we? Okay, so we have one thing of nectar, which will give us some money. Let's check out what Caroline has to offer. Now, I believe we helped out the spineless curate here. Let's see who's at the checkerboard. Our rubbery friend is no longer here. A stunted grove. At the center of Caroline, a half-height grove of black thorn bushes. There is no real gate. But not much of a wall either. There's only a low stone barrier, perhaps a foot tall. Easy to step over. The thorn bushes grow thorns in an inch or more long. There are paths between them, but it is hard to pass by without tearing one's clothes. The devils who work here have scratches on their forearms, though they don't seem to mind. There's not a single comfortable place to sit. A professional penitent. She is seated on a stool, eating vast quantities of sorbet. Well, I think we'll go for the penance over ordeal. Yeah, we're iron boys out here, so we'll gather 2. How did I... A lady murdered for a spouse for money. The devils disapprove. To repair these defects, she has been tied to one of the trees in the grove. A crone neither weeps nor feels regret. Until she overcomes these flaws, she is being forced to copy out the obituaries of departed wives and beloved husbands. The supervising deviless makes notes. A lady will not scritch a cat between the ears and wear gloves. Wears gloves in the company of dogs. Oh my god. How? How can you? How dare you? For the penitent's own good, she is being menaced by kittens. Try to allow yourself to feel some emotion, prompts the supervising deviless. Yes. Approach the pro-penitent. She collects penance for other people. Yeah, we'll speak with her. It's a slow process, but the quality is better than the indulgence penance one may buy from the presiding deviless. Quantities of sorbet. The penitent is seated on a stool, eating from an enormous barrel of violet sorbet. It is enough to supply a carnival. The penitent's lips are blue. Her fingers are sticky. There are purple smears on her frock. Wasps are taking an interest in the side of her face. When you come over, she puts down her spoon long enough to greet you. I'm here on behalf of a viscountess who doesn't love her children. She's waiting back in London for me to deliver her penance. Pointedly, the supervising devil sets another long-handled spoon at her elbow. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I'd be able to eat that much sorbet. I'm pretty sure sorbet. This is what I think sorbet is like. Shaved ice, basically, with like syrup on it. I'm gonna need deprivation too. Alright, leave her. Return. Here we go. Alright. Let us deprive ourselves. Oh, and a penitent nurse. Okay. We'll take 2 of these. Gain a penance of deprivation, austerity, absence, and lack. These are the devil-recommended treatments for those who live within the sound of the bells. Sounds like my kind of place. Price is paid. A zookeeper kept a pickled human hand in a jar on the shelf. For the penitent's own good, he bathes 7 times a day and cleans their teeth 14 times, has a shaved head beneath a paper cap, and eats nothing containing mushroom. I trust you see, remarks the supervising deviless, why self-restraint is needed. Oh, I feel you. A goat farmer used to keep a colony of rats for companionship and entertainment. As a corrective, he is forced to stand for hours at a time under a dripping pipe. The drips correspond with the ringing of the second bell. Light, air, fire, and self-control are the enemies of pestilence, says a supervising deviless in a sing-song voice. Let me try that again. Light, air, fire, and self-control. No, that didn't work. Forget I said anything. Approach a penitent nurse. She huddles in the corner, her face trapped in a grimace. Attempt to communicate with her. It's too loud to speak, certainly. You communicate in writing. She has been within the sound of the bell for 40 days? The clangor is starting to disrupt her mind. She begs you will help her, and out of your kindness pay part of her penance for her. She would do the same for you. She is a very kind and forgiving soul. To convince you of this point, she scribbles down assurances, compliments, and a sketch of herself ministering to a leprous child. Don't worry, nurse. I can help you. Ordeal and deprivation. What good is control if it doesn't come with strength? Fiercer. You donate your penance to her. She struggles. The penance was painful to perform, and it is not easy to receive either. On the way down the staircase, she tells you about the hospital where she used to work. Administrators who stole from the medical funds. Doctors who drank before surgeries. Some meant well. Some meant poorly. I can't say I did much about it. I didn't want to be too harsh with the ones that were trying. But I should have done for the patient's sake. Oh, I feel you. We're enabling out here. 500 experience, 1 savage secret. And led us back to the stunted grove. What do you need again? Oh yeah. She likely has a use for these, the professional penitent who is eating sorbet, for her current customer or for a future one. Good stuff. She accepts both penances gratefully. Let me pay you, she says. Deprivations are not my favorite. I still do them, of course. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing I won't live through for a client, but the fasting gets dull. So nice to be able to stock this without having to do it myself. Another secret. Sand garden and glass statues. We are missing a stained quality of soul, but let's see who's oh, I need a clear soul. Gotta make sure not to cure that. It descends into a tunnel. Carved over the mouth of the tunnel are symbols of death. A skull, a flail, a fly on its back. The air is cold. The sand crunches underfoot. I will not be deterred. Not by fear, not by cold, not by hesitation or anxiety. You have chosen a way forward. That is all. That is the way I made it through the wars. In the pure blackness, you walk into a column of stone. No, more than a column. A divide, where the path goes left and right. You'll have to choose a way without reason. There's nothing here to determine which is best. The penitents here are mostly fierce, burly types, some of them scarred. One or two look as though they rightfully should be dead. A penitent ape? What is it doing here? He has collected human souls, and now he is here to cultivate them. How did he gain entry? How did he even gain entry to the sand garden? Nonsensical chatter. He tells you in a low mutter, this soul was a gambler, but a good one, able to remember odds and figures, fast at seeing opponents bluff. Took bets where he shouldn't, calculated the odds of dying in a knife fight, and decided he didn't mind a 10% risk if the pot was large enough. A good soul, but it would be a better one if it could be coaxed post-mortem into a little more sense of mortality. That would make it more poignant. At least, so you gather. The ape does not use words like poignant, but you take its meaning. Yikes. Okay, these are tougher. 5 inescapable truths. Give the ape a truth. Souls cannot be polished post-death. Probably not, anyways. Let's try and gather 5 here. 1. A maid entered the dark basement in a house that was said to be possessed. As punishment, she is being buried alive. Fuck. A ruthlessly cheerful young woman wore black to a wedding on the grounds that it was slimming. Until she overcomes these flaws, she has been buried alive. Is everybody getting buried alive here? A fierce governess attempted to retrieve a friend from death and failed. The devils disapprove. To repair these defects, she is hearing readings about the effects of plague and similar miseries. A very brave woman interrogated devils concerning their deaths and refused to be put off with well-favored lies. Until the penitent recovers from this inclination, she is copying out a list of registered deaths. The supervising devil sets out a bouquet of wilted flowers to fill out the scene. A general kept an unburied body in the house for 4 months. To improve the quality of his soul, he is reading through a manual illustrating the decay of bodies. The penitent laughs hollowly. One more. A surgeon put to sea with inadequate fuel or supplies for the penitent's own good. She has been locked in a lightless box. A maid romanced a tomb colonist. As punishment, she is listening to a series of lectures on the pointless misery of the grave. Would you say you are feeling more or less conscious of your mortality than when you began this program? Asks the supervising devil. Alright, there's 5. A woman of very little imagination has died 7 times. Until the penitent recovers from this inclination, she has been locked in a lightless box. The penitent looks secretly amused. Maybe somebody has need for these endurance penances. The terrace of glass statues, the path, is a mirrored labyrinth. Entry is forbidden to those who are not afflicted with a flickering soul. What a curious figure, says an old man, pointing at his own reflection. Here's hoping there aren't any clowns of that nature where we're going, eh? He jabs you in the rib with his elbow. Admire your reflection, which is handsomer than usual. Why have you never noticed the brilliance of your eyes? You stumble over a woman in a bee costume and nearly miss the turning into the terrace. It's an absurd arrangement here. A person could wander the labyrinth all day long without reaching their destination. Stand in front of one of the statues and it will melt into your pose. It will look you in the eye. Its face will be your face. Minus a few marks of your character, it will still be transparent. Ooh, tricky. Approach the grim penitent. He seems oblivious to your presence. The man is slim and there are circles under his eyes. He shows no energy at all. Through the glass. He lifts his eyes when you seat yourself. It takes time to get him to speak. He finds the effort of conversation very hard going. For the first few exchanges, he confines himself to the weather at Carillon, but finally he tells you why he is here. Too many lives I lived on the other side of the mirror. So long that I forgot everything, but that place and its ways. Where is and is not changes place. I took a companion and endured his not love. It took me a long time to recognize it for what it was. Assisting a mirror-bound penitent. You're assisting a penitent who has had a little too much contact with the Finger Kings, the beings of the mirror. Don't worry, mirror-bound penitent. We have accumulated 5 endurance penances for you. Endurance and the ability to overcome, to come through things is necessary after the experiences he's had. Rather old? He considers the penance dubiously. It does look a bit like a salami wizened behind a bookshelf for a few centuries. Ugh. Then he overcomes his reticence and consumes it. He looks better almost right away. Energy restored, mood elevated, voice firmer. Where has he been? Someplace that belittled him. Not just a mirror, but a curved mirror that shows you smaller than you are. But he has come back from there, and now he is ready for a new adventure. He's heard legends of what's out there. He just needs to go and look. 5 sky stories. You know what? We are all mirror-bound penitents, aren't we? Aren't we? And well, let me just try one of these. Inescapable truth. 25% chance. Okay. A gentleman refused to fight back when attacked. To cure these defects of character, he is memorizing the deaths of kings, the births of bishops, and the wording of encyclicals. One more time. A gentleman habitually compliments enemies and does favors for those who least deserve it. Until the penitent recovers from this inclination, he is being made to copy out a heap of encyclopedias, word for word. And begin again wherever there is an error. God. I think the terrace of glass statues is where I belong. Where I belong. And that's enough of that. The bittersweet aria. We will mourn the dead. Retrieve the stomach. The phlegmatic researcher in the Leadbeater and Stainrod nature reserves believes this will aid his research. He'd better be right. Short straws. Its shell is too tough to crack, but it is large enough to crawl into, and that's what the unlucky winner of an impromptu lottery is obliged to do. They are given a knife and a sou'wester, not sure what that is, to cover their sky suit, and crawl inside. They emerge later, dripping, cursing, and clutching the withered knot of a stomach. Gnarly. Oh, no. Hey, buddy. Come back here. Come back here. I want to kill you. I want to kill you. Ow. Discontent. A junior signaler receives a dose of medicinal port in the infant infirmary after seeing a frozen corpse spin past a window. The experience has shaken him. The dead are hungry, he says. We need to make an offering or it'll come back a knocking at the hole. Reprimand him. Oh, wait a second. Heirs of Terror? Actually, no. This is more in line with our nobleman. It'll be poor company, but it is what you want to happen if you were found dead in the sky. Actually, do we want a nightmare? Stuff and nonsense. Discipline. The crewman returns sheepishly to duty but continues to jump every time debris clangs on the hull. It is debris. You are almost certain. Hey. It draws a lot of terror. No, I'm not gonna fight it. Port report. Explore Lustrum. Your wandering takes you to the edge of town. When they first arrived, the prospectors hastily constructed tents and shacks next to the prim houses of the Londoners desiring proximity to the mountain. Now most of those houses are deserted or taken over by squatters. The tents and shacks spread out from the shantytown to anywhere with enough space or heat to raise a roof. Your wandering takes you too far. Foul breath spiced with rum. Something sharp in your back. Just a few sops, friend, whispers a voice in your ear. Don't act like you can't afford it. Turn the tables, a mugging? How quaint. You reach for your pocket, only to suddenly launch a vicious kick to your assailant's left kneecap. She, the scream makes it obvious, falls back. You turn to see a slight-looking woman in what was once a fine dress lying in the mud. She does have a knife, but her hand trembles enough that she is more likely to do harm, to herself harm, than cut you. She clearly has nothing to take, and Lustrum has no law of note to either arrest her or pay for her capture. She's not worth any further effort. Tea shop. We'll take some tea. Indulgence blend, straight from the Blue Kingdom. A tea for the true connoisseur. A taste of dust swept from the darkest corner of a sepulchre. It is best served with a drop of milk, ideally on the very edge of turning. You sip gently. Between sips, a bite of a sugared biscuit to take away the edge. Ooh. That actually sounds kind of good. Yep. Let's go. What is this? That hideous strength. Tensions are high and the crew are making mistakes. The preternaturally fertile seeds of the Reach must be stored with utmost care. A flicker of light, a lap of moisture, and they burst into violent growth. Like the sack in your hold from which questing vines have groped, nodding around your cargo. What the hell? Yep, this is why we don't like the seeds. To Terror. Lost a sack of verdant seeds and gained the supply. Food for the pot. You separate the sack from the rest of your cargo before it can do any damage. The seeds are beyond rescue. But the vines that unfurl from them are already budding. Their fruit are moderately distressing. They are pale, bulbous, and palpitate unexpectedly. But edible. That's new. That's a new interaction. I didn't know that having a specific cargo can do that. I wonder if the other ones do anything. Here's hoping. The company's return. Okay. Things have changed in New Winchester. The Windward Company has made recent gains against the Tackities, enough to re-establish their presence in the town. They have reoccupied Company House, given it a fresh coat of paint, and hoisted a defiant London flag. Hell yeah! Pubs near the station are abuzz with the news. Stalemate. The Colonial Assembly are now locked in an accusatory debate in Victory Hall. There is little they can do, though. London has sent fresh dreadnoughts to reinforce the company's claim, and the balance of power in the Reach has returned to its traditional state of simmering stalemate. Okay. Repair. Fuel. Explore the city. What is this? Deliver the honey to the round table. The parsimonious chairman has told you there's to be a rally outside the round table. A crowd is gathering. Or we can warn the ironical reformist. Parsimonious chairman has told you there's to be a rally. Okay, yeah. Come on. The proprietress raises the honey to the light. She has a taste for it. She sighs. I thought she'd have the good sense to steer clear of the company, but them that play the fool must occasionally be treated as such. She shrugs once. I'll do it, but I still have a crowd at my door. You must get rid of them. I'll do the rest. She gestures out the window to the mob holding anti-stovepipe placards. Divert the mob. Deliver a slightly less inflammatory speech. Or deliver a placatory speech. Or placatory. Ay. Huh. Divert the mob. You mount the boxes. You draw a deep breath. You begin the first bars of God Save the Queen. Several hours later, you have lost the last of them, though not all of your crew made it after a particularly fiendish turnabout in the labyrinthine slums under the Bishop Bridge. Now to get back to your engine. Damn, okay. Oh, fuck my throat. Dealing with the ironical reformists, you've successfully sabotaged the rally. 5 fortunes. Lost 2 crew. What's our safe manning number? 7? Why? That doesn't make sense. It was 12 before. Okay. Alright. Interesting, we brought the Windward Company back to New Winchester, which means, actually, let's drop off our port reports. Alright. Deliver our poor reports to the prudent secretary. 5 Windward Company gratitude. 500 sovereigns. 135 to 141. It's almost balanced now. Balance of power. You have provided the company with a great deal of info. Behind the scenes, you're ushered into a close meeting with the fraught general manager and his prudent secretary. In it, you offer several pieces of strategic advice that would increase Her Majesty's prospects in the Reach. Okay. 144 to 136. 10 reputation. Lost 10. We're loathed by the Tackities. Right, so we have 8. I think we'll take one of these actually. Frivolity. The prudent secretary smiles thinly. A party, yes, what fun. They hand over an invitation and inform you that if you wish to make use of it, you'll need to get to Albion through the relay at Port Prosper. Normally with my other captains I would destroy a dreadnought, a London dreadnought, and it would give me that. But now we're trading Tackety murders for it, I guess. Oh, and port reports. We'll take one of these. New total at 7. For you? Of course! The fraud general manager doesn't even bother to ask you any questions. Just the one, is it? New total 3. Trade favor for gossip. Okay, we're starting to gather a little bit more. Let's check out our possessions. 12 sky stories, 15 gossip, 7 permits, 2 tales of terror, 15 secrets. Okay, we're good. We're good. Alright. What's next on the list? The clay conductor is not in the Reach. And we need him to get our final 10 plus 10 hearts. We're at 65, we can bump it up to 75. Same with our irons. It's at 91. Now we just need to boost our mirrors. Who's our mascot? Oh, right, it's because of this guy. Okay, 6 iron, 2 veils. 6 iron, 2 veils. 6 iron, 2 veils. 1 iron, 2 iron, 1 mirror. Okay. Alright, so what's next? What's next? Well, I do believe we still need to figure things out at Polmir's. Maybe we can keep gathering things at Port Avon, and there might be something at Magdalen's. Other than that, I think Leadbeater, we just need to keep accumulating things at Leadbeater, and Caroline might have to wait. There is that last terrace that we cannot access. And the penitent ape needs 5 inescapable truths, and we only have 1. Okay. Yes. And then, once we finish those, hopefully by the next episode or two, we can move along into Albion and meet the Unseen Queen. Ooh. Okay, this has been this has been Bayoung Games. I'll see you in the next episode.